So I'm scrolling on BuzzFeed one evening when I see a picture of a small notepad that is completely waterproof, designed for people to use in their showers. The tagline is, "Don't let your best ideas go down the drain." I read this and think, yeah, I must have a lot of great ideas in the shower that this thing is going to help me remember. Turns out I don't. So the notepad stayed blank for a long time after I got it. A few months later, faced with the second of two heartbreaks in less than a year, I tearfully wrote 3 words on that same notepad: "You deserve good." And I left it up for the better part of a year, partly because I needed it, and I also got used to seeing it there, like a piece of homemade minimalist art in my shower, reminding me daily that I deserve good. Eventually, I felt healed enough to tear off the page, plus I wanted to make sure that nobody else would ever read what I had written, so the notepad was blank again. And then I meet Mark. Our easy, friendly dating app exchanges move effortlessly into delightful, heartfelt dates that feel almost thick with hope. Mark is sweet, kind, and enchantingly has very little dating game. He's a refreshingly real former Mathlete Club president. Before our first date, he offers to pick me up in his car. I didn't think anybody did that anymore. After Mark stays over at my apartment for the first time, I am pleasantly surprised to find the notepad is no longer blank. Instead, a little hi with a smiley face next to it. I tell him that I enjoyed finding his message, and thus begins a hallmark of our relationship. Every time Mark stays over, I can count on finding a new note after he leaves. Sometimes the door barely shuts behind him before I scurry to read new messages, like, "If I'm here, it's already been a good day," and "I wish I were a derivative so I could lay tangent to your curves." Of course, there is more to our relationship than waterproof notes. There are dinners and breakfasts, nice restaurants, casual evenings on our respective couches, conversations about the minute and the major, and navigating learning areas where we differ, like expiration dates on food. I observe them. But Mark makes me feel like the most special person on the planet. I have a piece of creative writing published for the first time the day before our second date, and I have to stop him from trying to tell the waiter that we're there for a special celebration. He comes to not 1, but 2 of my improv shows. And in turn, Mark shares some of his passions with me, like college basketball. Even I understand that it's a big deal when he invites me to join him in watching the biggest game of the year for his lifelong favorite team. And he still patiently tries to answer my hard-hitting questions, like, how do they know which way to run on the court? That is what he said as well. And when I have major surgery, Mark wakes up with me before dawn to take me to the hospital. And he's right there when I wake up, ready to get me home safely and help care for me while I recover. And as I revel in what I'm experiencing with Mark, I can't help but reflect on past relationships when I tolerated things like disparaging comments, mixed messages, and unreliability. I start to realize that what I used to think was electricity with men I dated may have been anxiety. And it is exciting, I think, how unexcitingly stable and secure I'm feeling with Mark. One Saturday afternoon, almost 8 months after we met, we're texting to finalize our plans for that evening, and he's acting a little odd, but I tell myself, don't read into it. I've been known to overthink things once or twice a day. He calls me. Hey, I answer, but my greeting barely gets out before he cuts me off. I can't be in this relationship anymore. I'm sorry. My heart drops. I don't even remember what I said, but it probably can't be repeated. For the next several minutes, the same man whose words and actions made me feel so safe sputters disconnected word vomit, words like can't, broken, and sorry. We hang up. I storm into the bathroom. I rip the notepad off the wall. And while I wish I could say I threw it out the window or I set it on fire, I do none of these things. I just hold it close to myself, clutching the literal and figurative vestige of the relationship I really thought might be it for me. I reread all of his notes, both pressing on the bruise to make it hurt more on purpose and searching for clues I must have missed that this might end so abruptly. I find none. A few weeks later, sitting across from each other outside a coffee shop, we have another difficult, though calmer, conversation. As I knew, Mark's marriage had ended a little over a year before I met him, and he thought he was ready for a new beginning, a new relationship. Turns out he's not, and he is deeply sorry for how badly he handled our breakup. I walk away glad for some clarity, but still devastated and uncertain of how I will move forward. The thing is, our relationship did end quite painfully at that, but that does not undo all the love and care that I not only received from him, but learned indelibly that I do deserve. And I thought maybe I should wait to share this story. Wait until more time had elapsed. Wait until I was in a new committed relationship. Wait until I could provide a happy ending. But my story doesn't have a happy ending because it's not over. I'm writing it every day. Waterproof notepad optional. Thank you.
On your skin, no one else can feel it for you.